The kitten under this shed was attacked by a dog a few days ago. Now it's crying non-stop and we think it's been abandoned. What happened to the kitten? Coming up. A litter of kittens had a nest under this shed in the neighborhood. I had only a brief glance at them and they looked to be between 3 and 4 weeks old. Unfortunately, there was a dog in the yard. In spite of creating barriers to keep the dog away from the kittens, several days ago it managed to get between the fence and the shed and lunge at the kittens. Now I have to say that this is a great dog. Very friendly and calm most of the time. But cats do drive her crazy, and the litter of kittens seems to be unbearable to her, especially in her yard. So please be aware that even the mildest dog can try to attack cats or kittens given the right circumstances. When the dog lunged, one of the kittens ran off down the alley. Several kids from the neighborhood and I looked for it, but it was gone. Probably under a shed or a car, or hidden in weeds. Cats are very difficult to find if they want to hide. The only thing we could do was hope that its mother would find it and bring it back to the nest. Welcome back to 9 Lives to Live. After the dog incident, I did not see the kitten or hear of anything of it for several days. Sky, stop that. I assumed that the mother had moved them, which makes a lot of sense. Well, a few days later, we hear crying from the shed across the alley. A kitten crying, obviously, and the people who live there, one of them, told me that the kitten had been crying all afternoon. I immediately thought that this might be the kitten that had been attacked by the dog, but it was unclear what was going on. Had it been abandoned? If it had been abandoned, why now? Why not before? Why was it crying so much? Were there other kittens under there? It's really important to emphasize that the best place for a kitten, for a young kitten, is with its mother. And it should never be a light decision to rescue a kitten or to take it. Mr. Muffin, what are you doing? What are you doing? So with this crying kitten, I had a decision to make. Should I rescue it or not? Had it been abandoned, or was its mother coming back for it? I took 3 things into consideration. Number 1, it seemed to be alone. There weren't any other litter mates. It was also crying unnaturally and for a prolonged period of time, which was not normal. And it was coming out from its nest and coming up all the way to the edge of the fence. I also suspected that this was the kitten that had been attacked by the dog. It was the right size and the right color. So in spite of some misgivings, I decided to take the kitten with the help of some neighbors. I stood by the side of the shed and grabbed it when it popped out. And I had a glove on so that just in case it scratched or bit, I didn't want to get injured unnecessarily. I also decided I needed some help, so I called my friend Jenny, who has fostered kittens before and is a little bit more adept at that than I am. After a short examination, it was clear that the kitten was the one that had escaped from the dog, as it had an injured front leg. It looked like some skin had been torn off and had an open wound and swelling. But it was walking okay, so it did not look like a broken leg. It was too late on Sunday to take it to a vet immediately. Jenny and I gave it a bath and cut off some dead matted skin from its injury. We fed it some kitten formula we had in reserve. It was hungry but not ravenous, and I wondered if I had stepped in too soon. Maybe I should have waited, but it was getting dark and the kitten was crying and I did not want to leave it out there all night. So I took the decision to take it. Sometimes you just have to make the best decision you can. After we took care of the kitten's immediate needs, we decided that Jenny would hold on to the kitten because she was set up for that with a little shelter for the kitten and right implements to make sure it was safe and warm. I agreed to take the kitten to the vet as soon as possible. I will make another video on this particular kitten shortly and let you know how it went with the vet and what the prognosis for the kitten was. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.